Today marks the start of Black History Month, a time when we celebrate and honor the adversity and achievements of historical Black figures. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other Black History Month videos, like and subscribe, and know that I have worksheets, quizzes, and coloring pages for these videos too. Check the comments for a link. Now let's get started. On January 26, 1892, Bessie Coleman was born. Hailing from Atlanta, Texas, Bessie was one of 12 children in her family. Her father was part Native American and African American, while their mother was African American. Bessie and her family faced a ton of discrimination at a young age, but she worked hard to save up enough money to put herself in school. This school life wasn't for her, as she left school after one semester and went to live with her brothers in Chicago. While there, Bessie would hear heroic tales of pilots fighting in the skies during World War I. She dreamt of flying herself, but knew that this couldn't happen. You see, women had very few rights at the time, and African Americans had even less, and it just so happened that Bessie was both. You would think that being an African American woman at a time when African Americans and women had such few rights would stop her from being a pilot, but guess what? It didn't. Bessie's brothers would often tease her about flying, telling her how women in France were allowed to fly in their country. This planted a seed in Bessie's mind that would motivate her beyond belief. So despite everyone saying no, and her country saying she can't fly, Bessie applies to flight school and gets denied. And then she applies to another flight school and gets denied. But Bessie refuses to quit and instead hatches a plan. She takes French classes every night until she can fluently speak French, moves to France, where women are allowed to fly, and enters aviation school, where she would finally get her wings, becoming the first African American woman and the first Native American to hold a pilot's license. With her knowledge of flight and a passion in aviation, Bessie returned home with the goal of owning her own plane and teaching others to fly as well. Bessie grew in popularity, touring the country and giving speeches all over regarding flight. She became a legend, and with her newfound popularity, set up her own rules to the venues where she gave speeches. Bessie refused to speak anywhere that was segregated or discriminated against African Americans. Segregation was the act of separating people apart from others. For example, separating children in schools based on their race, or not allowing people of color to eat at certain restaurants. Or in the case of Bessie's story, forcing Black people to only sit in certain sections of the stands. No pun intended. This didn't fly with Bessie, and she refused to show her face anywhere that did this. She toured the country giving flight lessons and performing in flight shows, and she encouraged African Americans and women to learn how to fly. She was a massive sensation. But in April of 1926, Bessie took her last flight, as she died in a tragic accident while preparing for an air show. Bessie's memory lives on today, as she's remembered for her incredible piloting skills and determination to succeed in the face of discrimination.